Urgent message for Pisces. What August is hiding from you, everyone is pulling away for a reason. Get ready, Pisces. You don't feel like going out, not because you're lazy, not because you're introverted, and certainly not because you're weak. You're staying in because an invisible pull is holding you back. Lately, there have been mornings when you wake up and the world outside just feels too big, too bright, too loud. Every car horn, every stream of news, every invitation hits your emotional space like waves crashing onto a shoreline that hasn't had time to heal. So you quietly withdraw, not out of fear, but because your body is saying something, because your soul is tuning back into its frequency. And you begin to doubt yourself. Why am I not like other people? Why does just thinking about going out exhaust me? Why do I need so much space? You've asked those questions many times, and no one has given you an answer kind enough. So hear this. You are not wrong. You are not broken. You are being held back by something most of the world isn't quiet enough to notice. Because you were born with thinner skin, a more sensitive nervous system, a soul that's traveled through deeper layers of consciousness, and carries a frequency that can't survive in noise. No, this isn't avoidance. This is realignment. While the outside world rushes toward stimulation, Neptune, your ruling planet, is pulling you inward, not to disconnect you from life, but to reconnect you with yourself. Neptune never shouts, it whispers, and those who can hear it are the souls the universe is still betting on. You are one of them. So if you find yourself not wanting to show up, not wanting to speak, not wanting to do anything but stay silent, trust that. You're not falling behind, you're being held back at the right time and in the right way. People keep telling you to go out, to socialize, to be more active. They say you're falling behind in life. But what they don't know is, a single trip to the grocery store is enough to make you want to shut every sense off. The lights are too bright, the sound's too sharp, too many faces, and yet their eyes feel hollow. You step into a crowded room and immediately feel like you're being pulled out of yourself. It's not that you don't know how to talk. It's that you hear everything people don't say. You pick up on energy that hasn't been released. You see the sadness people tuck behind a smile, and you carry it home as if it were yours. No one taught you how to set energetic boundaries. No one gave you time to recover after every appearance. They only looked at your withdrawal and gave it a simple name, introvert. But this isn't a personality trait, this is soul biology. You don't need a crowd to feel connected. You don't need a party to feel alive. You only need space, quiet enough to hear yourself breathe, a small corner where you don't have to pretend, a pace of life where you don't have to race. Because you are tuned to a slower frequency, slower than most of this world, but deeper, and that is a gift, not a problem. Your moon might be in the 12th house, the place that holds every dream, every sorrow, every unnamed memory. You don't speak much, but you remember everything. Every distorted frequency, every time the crowd went off beat, you absorb it all. And your body, your intuition, will always send a signal the moment it gets too much. The colors become too sharp, the sounds start to compress, the air gets heavier. Not because you're too sensitive, but because you are too pure to fake emotion. You're not falling behind, you're not running away, you're just in a state that most people aren't quiet enough to understand. You're recalibrating. The world calls it procrastination, but they don't know that inside you a system far more intricate than any schedule is at work. You can't rush a deadline on awakening, you can't try harder to feel okay faster. True transformation doesn't follow the clock. It begins the moment your soul nods yes. And Pisces, you're right in the middle of that process. Lately, you might feel vague, unmotivated to start anything new, uninterested in half-hearted conversations. No clear reason, just the undeniable sense that you can't pretend anymore. It feels like an old version of you is cracking, and the new one hasn't fully formed. You're in between, in that invisible threshold where silence is your most loyal companion. Neptune, your ruling planet, doesn't ask you to explain. It simply invites you to step deeper into the mist between two worlds, where you don't need to know what's coming. You just need enough faith not to turn back. While others are trying to do something to feel alive, you're doing the opposite. You're pausing to remember who you are. This isn't a dead end, it's the inhale before the next wave. Because you weren't born to be constantly in motion, you were born to dissolve. And in this phase where everything is melting, you might feel tired, unclear, empty. Don't fight it. You're not breaking down. You're reordering your entire system. No one can see it from the outside, but inside a new timeline is being woven. And Pisces, you are moving at exactly its rhythm. Lately, you've been feeling more tired, not the kind of tired that comes from the body, but a deeper kind of fatigue. like you're wearing an energetic cloak that's become too heavy. You walk into a crowded place and within minutes, your heart races, your limbs feel limp, even the air seems to thicken. You get dizzy in the supermarket, you feel like you're floating through the crowd. You hear one loud voice and your entire system tightens. No one else understands why, but, something is shifting in the energy layers and you can't quite put it into words. And if you feel like you're being overwhelmed by the tiniest things, don't be quick to blame yourself for being weak. This isn't disorder. This is a nervous system receiving new signals. Neptune, the planet that dissolves boundaries, is expanding the doorway to your intuition. Not everyone can feel it, but you can. Because Pisces is the final sign in the Zodiac wheel. You carry within you the energetic memory of all 11 signs before you. You sense what others can't. And sometimes you even sense what they're trying to hide. You are a radar, a receiver, the one who walks into a room and instantly knows something is off. And lately, those strange sensations have only become more pronounced. You hear sounds when no one's speaking. You feel electric currents running along your spine, and without a single touch, you wake from a dream, carrying a feeling that clings to you the entire day. This is not imagination. These are the early signals of a deep inner shift. And the strange thing is, the more you accept them, the more coherent they become. Not to frighten you, but to remind you, you are syncing with an invisible map, activated only by souls quiet enough to listen. You weren't born to make noise. You don't have to show up all the time just to prove you're alive. You don't need to always be busy to be seen as valuable. The truth is, your greatest power is your stillness. The world says, don't stay still, but your soul whispers, listen before you step, and you always choose the whisper. No one taught you how to listen to your intuition, and yet, somehow you just knew. You've always heard it, even when you couldn't explain why. You just knew that if you stepped out of sync, your whole being would speak up. And now you can't betray your body anymore. Pisces, you are the sign of blind faith, of intuition without evidence, of truths hidden beneath the mist. You don't need to know the why, you just need to feel what's right. And most of the time, what feels right is silence. No one taught you that stillness is also a way to live. They taught you to speak, to move, to act, to achieve. They told you you matter when you're everywhere. But you know better. Showing up at the right time is the real power. Staying home isn't avoidance. It's how you preserve your energy. It's how you refill before depletion. It's how you choose which spaces are worthy of your presence. Because not every place is worth your arrival. Not everyone is quiet enough to bear your gaze. The 12th house, the final house in the birth chart, is where you belong. A space that doesn't need the spotlight. A place you withdraw to hear what no one else can hear. The sound of truth. You don't show up for the sake of appearances. You arrive like an event. A sudden flash in the night, only visible when the sky aligns just right. And in these days, that alignment is being tuned once again. People think you're just sensitive, that you need to go out more to get used to it, that you need to socialize, but they don't know. Every time you step outside, you're walking into a battlefield. Not a battle of words, not arguments or conflict, but an energetic war zone. Just a few minutes in a public space and you already feel yourself melting. Not because of the sun, but because of the undercurrents moving through everything. You can sense the exhaustion of the person standing near you. You hear the confusion in the server's voice. You get pierced by glances that say nothing, but carry everything, and they don't see any of it. Pisces, you were born with a second skin, not on your body, but in the energetic field that surrounds you. And that skin is thin. It receives every frequency as if it were real. That's why small talk wears you out. Why artificial lighting makes you feel suffocated. Why forced laughter makes you want to turn away. You didn't choose to be difficult, you just can't pretend not to feel. The more contact you have, the more drained you become. Not because you're weak, but because you weren't designed to live inside distorted frequencies. You are water. You feel everything through touch, through breath, through subtle waves no one else notices, and you absorb it all. The problem is the world never taught you how to release it. It only told you to toughen up like an adult. But your soul doesn't toughen up. It reacts, it warns, it retreats the moment it no longer feels safe. And that's not dysfunction, that's ancient intelligence doing its job. Because while the rest of the world rushes into the crowd, you are being called in the opposite direction. Not to hide, but to protect a part of your energy the world hasn't yet learned how to treat with care. If all you want this weekend is to stay home, there's a reason for it. In a world where everyone is busy moving forward, some are held back by the universe, not to fall behind, but to be ready for something arriving on a deeper frequency, and Pisces is that kind of soul. This weekend, the urge to stay in, go silent, and see no one isn't a sign of isolation. It's the signal of a phase that needs recharging. Avoiding crowds isn't weakness. It's simply not wanting background noise to distort the signals beginning to surface. This is a phase where if one step is misaligned, the inner self will send an immediate alert. And for those who know how to listen, every inner resistance is not a sabotage, but a safeguard to keep the soul from drifting off its axis. The truth is, not everyone lives with a level of sensitivity high enough to detect a shift in the current of energy. Not everyone lives attuned to the pulse of intuition. But for those who do, the urge to retreat, right at a seemingly ordinary moment, is often the turning point of the journey. And when the time to step forward arrives, there's no need to impress. Just be present at the right time in the right place, and everything else will speak for itself. Because sometimes absence is simply a way to prepare for an appearance that must not be missed. If you've made it this far, thank you for letting these words speak what your soul has always known, but the world rarely acknowledges. If this message resonated, leave a small sign, or simply save it to return to when you start to doubt yourself. You are not alone. You are not out of sync. You are returning to the true essence of an awakened Pisces.